Bad bitches.
And we're live.
Let's go.
Hello, everyone.
What
We're
up?
back.
We back. Damn.
We've been on a 2-week break.
Right. I was like, I was trying to put all my shit together. I was like, it ain't been that damn long. It ain't been that damn long. And then I was like, oh shit. Like at first I thought it was like, oh yeah, we only took 1 week off. And I was like, no, technically we took 2 Thursdays off. I mean, yeah, we went live that week, but wow, we really took 2 weeks off. But man,
I mean, you need time off sometimes.
you need time off sometimes. We've been going strong, hard in the paint. Hard in the paint. So
yes.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be back. I love that hat.
Thank you. My Nightmare on Elm Street with my accompaniment.
Spooky season
with my accompaniment. With the little
yes. That's
I'm probably gonna take it off midway because I'm mad because I got all of these hats that are horror themed, but they're all winter hats, and it has not been cold enough.
And yo, I feel like putting my air back on. Like
I mean, yeah, because you upstairs, so it's probably...
it's very warm in my room. Like, should I put my air back on?
Yeah, like Jarrell come downstairs, like it feels great down here. It feels like hell upstairs. Like
feels great on the first floor, and of course in the basement, you know. But I'm trying to like. Thank God I got a lot of clean clothes. I had to travel down to the basement too many times over the last.
Oh yeah, because of the trauma.
Because of the trauma. But if you don't know, you should know that. Tell the people who you are.
I am Chevy the Superstar because my name is not here because we're trying to be spooky,
right, in season, you know. And I'm Toya, your favorite point of view finder ever. And
this is what we call 2 snizzaps in a scissorcle.
Where we give you movie news that you can use.
And movie reviews that you cannot refuse.
You can't refuse them. You gotta listen. You gotta hear them. You just gotta accept. And today, we only hopped on a little bit before we went live, but already gotten an opinion about it, and I'm excited to talk about this today because we talking about horror movies. I mean, it's spooky season. You know, this is AKA like Siobhan's bag, the superstar's bag, and so she's going to have a lot to say. It's an opinion that matters.
Yeah, you can't refuse it.
You can't refuse it. But I'm a scary ass person. I'm very scary. I'm very scary, and it don't take much to scare me. I was scared of Michael Jackson Thriller up until like my early 20s. Like it took a lot to watch that shit and not have nightmares, like, and not dream about it and be spooked and like walk funny. At night, you know,
down the street.
Yeah.
From the movies,
right? From the movies, right? Just like, what? I'm scared, bro. I'm scared. We're like, I'll never forget the first time I went to go see Jeepers Creepers. I was trying to get in the car super quick. I was like, knowing that he could just tear through the car anyway. Like, I just was watching the sky. Like, I was like, why do I go see scary movies at night, knowing I gotta go home by myself?
Oh, that's hilarious.
I was being hella loud coming in the house.
Like, hello.
Hi. Hey.
I'm here.
I'm here. Are you here?
Knocking on everything.
Yes. Until somebody say, what the hell? You okay, Toya? Yes, I'm fine.
I just needed to know that the Jeepers Creepers didn't Jeepers Creeper y'all.
Right. I just need to know. Yes, Toya, you stayed up all night. Yes, I did. All dark corners were scaring me.
Because I was Jeepers and creeped.
I was
Jeepers and creeps.
Creeped by the Jeeps.
I was Jeeped and creeped.
Didn't want to hear that song. Didn't want to whistle it.
I hated that movie.
It was so bad, and I don't know why I was so scared.
It's not that it was bad to me.
Uh-huh.
It was the fact that it was the first time that we saw the main character lose. And I
Good
didn't
point.
like that. I
Yeah.
didn't like that.
Yeah.
So when I couldn't place it because I was younger when I watched
Mm-hmm.
it, but as I got older, and I had I liked the movie up until the end, and I
Yeah.
had a strong disdain for the film afterwards because of the ending. And I was like, oh, it's not. I'm not going to say it's not very many horror films where the main character doesn't lose. I mean, Pet
Yeah.
Sematary, everybody lost. Many
Right.
horror films, everybody loses. But in this movie, they depicted it in such a way where it was like he literally did everything he could, and he lost in such a way that it was like, well, damn, if that was the point, then y'all should have just let it be the point. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? Like, if you
Yep.
bring it on yourself, then fine. But he didn't do anything to deserve that, and it
He
bothered me.
didn't. He didn't. He didn't. He didn't have any history with it. The character, like, it just was no reason for all that to go down. And yeah.
It was
And then
just
they threw it
hunting
in your
season.
face on the second one too. Like he was still like, damn, what'd he do?
He's still out here pulling eyeballs out. Making,
So
I don't even know what that man's purpose was, to be
no,
honest.
no idea. To this day.
I just knew he was jeeping and creeping.
He was jeeping and definitely creeping. Damn. Well, I guess we can get into the movie news. Lord mercy. That was
all right. We're going to get into this movie news now, y'all. Look, I am 3 weeks behind on movie news. A lot of many things have happened
so
in
much
life since I last did movie news.
The
Tadum.
Yeah.
The Netflix Tadum Con happened, and they released a lot of information. DC Con happened, and they released information about DC films. And New York Comic Con happened, and they dropped trailers as well. And in the midst of that, other things happen as well. So I'm gonna try to keep y'all as up to speed as I can, without doing movie news for an hour.
Right.
All right, y'all ready? Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, Boogie News.
Oh, that was fire. That was fire. I like that.
All right.
Yo, what up, Z?
Let's get it together. Let's get it. Hey, Z, how you doing? Thanks for coming in.
Walks in like Rick James. Nice place. Raw.
All right. So here we go. The Book of Boba Fett will officially premiere on December 29th on Disney Plus.
Hey.
Congratulations, us.
All right.
The production of Wonka has officially, I can't read, begun, starring Timothy Chalamet.
And
I mean, he looked real good.
He looks good. When you posted that picture, I was like, oh, that's a good call on casting. That's a good call on casting.
Yeah. So in that film, we're gonna learn about Wonka before he was Wonka.
Right.
Prequel.
Before he hit us with this.
And granted, in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, we learned a little about Willy Wonka as a child, but I guess this is going to tell us more about him as a man growing up after he ran away from home. The second season of The Witcher will debut on December 17th. Excited about that.
Yeah.
Umbrella Academy season 3 will officially take place at Hotel Oblivion, which is the third series in it's like 3 graphic novels, and that's the third one. So it will officially take place in a hotel that's in another dimension, and it premieres in 2022.
Umbrella Academy has really expanded out to they've expanded their story past anything I could have ever imagined.
Well, they definitely did, because it's only 3 graphic novels. Yeah, it's only 3. So yeah, they definitely have. House of the Dragon. That's probably something you're into, Toya.
You know it.
It is coming.
Game of Thrones
in 2022. Can you tell people what it is? Because I don't know.
Oh, it seems like it's going to be about the House of Dragon, the basically the white-haired family, Targaryen. I forget how to say their house name, but it's gonna be like the inception of them, because come to find out they were they kind of were the throne. They had the throne before, and so yeah, man. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Well, girl, I'm excited. You're excited.
Thank you.
When I saw that trailer, I said, "Ooh, Toya's gonna be happy about this."
Yep, there we go. Yep, there we go. Thank you, Z. Thank you, Z.
Sex in the City premieres this December on HBO Max.
I'm ready for that.
Yes,
I'm ready for that.
I'm ready. You know, I'm partial to Sex in the City. You know, I don't dislike it, but I definitely snuck and watch it as a child. So
I enjoyed the movies. Never watched the show. I'm not gonna say never. Watched the show episodes a couple times. I just did that as a kid, right? But never got into the show. But loved the movies. Like seen all the movies.
I mean, but I didn't like. This is why I'm partial to going back to the show, because the show was so drama filled. And I don't know if I'm ready for that as an adult who can understand truly what the drama means now.
Yeah, I hear you. That's a great point. I hear you.
Paranormal Activity Next of Kin premieres on October 29th on Paramount Plus. If you check my Instagram, I have a list of everything that's spooky that you can watch.
A whole list.
Yes, several lists.
Right. Slide.
Everything.
Yeah, everything that you
could think of. For kids, for adults, for every person.
We did that. Y'all did that. Shout out the real.
Thank you. Trailer for Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City will be in theaters on November 24th. It looks like a low-level version of a Resident Evil movie, but what I will say is cool about it is taking place in the mansion from the first Resident Evil game, and they are actually like, I don't know if you remember this from growing up, but like it's a scene in the game where it's like this zombie and he's like turned around and he looked crazy, and they're doing that stuff over again. So for nostalgia purposes, people may want to go see it, but like it don't look like it should be coming out in theaters. It look like it should be coming out on VOD.
Yeah, straight to the on demand.
Yes, that's what it looks like to me. Catherine Hans, I think that's how you say her name, character Avica Harkness is getting a show on Disney Plus. WandaVision.
Oh, okay.
Sabrina Spellman will be heading to Riverdale, and she will reprise her role as Sabrina on the CW show Riverdale. New murder mystery series, The After Party, has an all-star cast, including Tiffany Haddish and Alana Glazer. It will be coming to Apple Plus. I mean, Apple TV.
Apple TV, yeah. Apple Plus. Like, what are you supposed to do with all these TV, these pluses, these? Yeah.
Like, it was funny when we was doing the list. I was like, Jarrell, look up HBO Max. And he was like, I'm looking up HBO Plus and I can't find nothing. I was like, because it's HBO Max.
All these names, I don't see how they come up with them for real.
It's just a plus or a max.
It's just a plus or a max or a TV. Or a TV. You're right. Because,
yeah, that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
The third season of Lost in Space premieres on December 1st on Netflix. Walking Dead, The Walking Dead, because it's like 17 Walking Deads now, and I didn't even know it. But The Walking Dead returns February 20th on AMC.
Let's go.
Hannah, the show on Amazon Prime, season 3 premieres on the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Psych season 3 premieres on November 18th on Peacock.
On the Peacock.
Also, you guys should cast your votes for the Ultimate Horror battle that is taking place on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Right, yeah, it's getting crazy over there.
It is really crazy. Like Scream and Halloween went against each other, and Scream is gonna lose.
That's hard.
Scream lost.
Scream going, yeah, you're right. Scream
No, I mean like it already lost.
Oh, it already. Oh, damn! I'm about to say because yeah, but you know what? I have to say, like, I understand in this. For me, it Scream just because that's what I grew up on, right? But
Yes.
I understand, like it's like a respect thing, you know. Like there would be no Scream if there was no Halloween. So
right,
and Halloween most likely is going to make it pretty far. I would assume like at least
no,
top 8.
It's literally going against Halloween in round 2.
Oh, in round 2. Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
That's out of there.
It's out of there. Halloween is
out of there.
Dang.
William Poulter will play Adam Warlock in the new Guardians of the Galaxy film, Volume 3. If you don't know who that is, he is the boy who was singing TLC, Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls in The Millers.
Somebody say he has a punchable face.
Yes, that was that movie where Jason Sudeikis say that.
Sudeikis, yeah. But like people have adopted that outside of the film. They're like, I agree, he has a punchable face. Like I want to just punch him in his face. Like shit.
That's never going away.
Never going away. Sorry.
Narcos Mexico premieres on November 5th on Netflix.
That's gonna be lit.
Speaking of Scream, the trailer for Scream Fizz dropped this week. It will be in theaters on January 14th. I forgot that movie existed. But yeah, the trailer for me is not giving what it's supposed to give. Some people are excited about it. I don't get it. And I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't get it, but it's, Wes Craven is no longer with us. So obviously he did not write nor direct this, and he wrote and directed all the Screams up until 4 and had a hand in the TV show before he passed. So this is a new movie, but the original cast has come back. So it had something there, but Scream is not serious. Scream is a scary movie about how to survive scary movies. And from the trailer that they presented, it was a little too serious for me. So
a little too much like serial killerish, where it's like it was never supposed to be about that. Like
right. But we'll see. Maybe it's time to get real.
Maybe it's time to get real. Maybe it's time to get real. I just hope they don't do the whole like copycat thing. And that's because that's been done in the whole.
But that's what it's always been. It's always been this person redoing this because of this,
right?
Because they have a vendetta for this. You know what I'm saying?
It's so old. I mean,
all those movies are like that. Okay, the only ones that I can say that are like that but not like that are Friday the 13th and Michael Myers, because they're gonna kill everybody regardless, but they coming for you. You know what I'm saying? They coming for that person that they didn't get the last time, and like Michael Myers is coming for Laurie Strode because she's still alive. But I feel like after he kills her, he's just gonna be like, his body just gonna turn into dust. You know what I'm saying? Because that is what his driving force is. But like Nightmare on Elm Street is consistently about kids who are of the bloodline of the people that killed him. So he's always haunting these kids' dreams because of this. So I mean, it's always the same. It's just reinventing it in some type of way. Like Scream 4 was about Emma Roberts wanting to be social media famous, and that's why she was killing people, because she saw how famous Sidney Prescott got because she was involved in all of that. So we'll see. Paul Rudd and Will Ferrell will be starring in a Apple TV. I put Apple TV Plus. Film called The Shrink Next Door, premiering on November 12th. They are rebooting Home Alone. Home Alone.
I saw.
Yeah, with the little boy from Jojo Rabbit. Home Sweet Home Alone movie premieres on November 12th on Disney Plus. And no, Macaulay Culkin will not be in the movie. And why did people think he was? I don't know.
Like what? Come on, y'all.
Did you see this? Have you heard about this? Did you read about it? Even Hawk is starring in a film called Black Phone, which goes to theaters on February 14th, where he is playing a Chester the Molester character, picking up children in a van.
No,
but it's a horror film because the ghosts of the kids come back to try to help the boy that he kidnapped survive.
Interesting.
It looks so good. Even though they gave the majority of the movie away in the trailer, it still looked good.
I still want to do that.
But I still want to see it.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen nothing like that.
Yeah. I've never heard of anything like that. That's interesting. That's interesting.
And they're calling the little boy on a phone that's in the room that he had them locked in that is no longer plugged up. And they're telling him what he needs to do because they're telling him everything that they learned before they died. It's really cool. It's really cool. I really like it.
Yeah.
Okay. The original Cowboy Bebop anime is coming to Netflix on October 21st. So if you never saw it and you want to prepare for the live action show, you can start watching it on the 21st.
Okay, nah. I'm gonna have to do that because I've heard so much about it. Never seen anything. Yep.
Money Heist Part 5, Volume 2, premiering December 3rd on Netflix. I don't know how many parts they have, but it seems as if they have a lot. You season 3 drops tomorrow. Just to let y'all know. Don't binge it too fast now. Be done tomorrow night. Be like, damn. Now what? Now what I'm gonna do?
That'd be the worst.
New trailer for the Eternals and Hawkeye dropped this week. I didn't watch either one because I feel like they showed me enough. They showed me enough.
Okay, so you like slow down.
Yes, I don't want to know nothing else. Halle Berry, trailer for Bruised dropped today, actually.
Yeah.
And it will premiere on Netflix on November 24th.
I'm excited for that.
She can play a dragged woman so well, and I don't understand why.
She sure can. And she's directing this.
Yes, she did.
Directorial debut.
Yeah.
So kudos to her. But yeah, I'm kind of excited because even though it's the story of the dragged woman
with a kid, right? She didn't realize what bothered me about the trailer is the mama came back, was like, there go your son, and she looking like, I had a baby, ma'am.
Get
the
your
baby
life
comes out of you. Like
for real. What up though, Aaron? What up though, Stacy?
Hey y'all.
Oh yeah, the Halle
Berry movie. Yeah. Oh, you go ahead.
Oh yeah, I think she's just like an ex-fighter who's like out on the street.
Yeah, no,
about her.
She's a UFC fighter.
Need another Babs.
A famous. It's like if Ronda Rousey.
She was a big deal.
Down. And then she was trying to come back up.
Mm-hmm.
Like a famous UFC fighter who just went down. And now she's scrubbing toilets.
Jesus.
But hey, whatever works, you gotta pay them bills.
You gotta pay them bills.
You need enough. Now, Stacey, why would you say that? Because we can't have another Babs.
And look, what?
We can't even have another Babs, R.I.P.
So
we can't even have another Babs.
Cool.
Like enough? That's J-Lo.
Right. She did learn how to fight in that movie, but she didn't become a UFC fighter.
She just beat one guy.
Right. She went straight in to just beat one man's ass.
That's it. After that, she took her gloves off and retired.
Right. It's like I wanted to do that character like, I'm gonna open up my own self-defense.
No, she probably went into therapy.
I would hope so. You had to literally kill your ex-husband.
It's so funny because me and Jarrell was talking about this movie the other day because the part where the little girl at the diner and the lady said, honey, what's your name? And she said, I don't know what my name is.
Oh gosh, because she was telling her like you need a new name, but
and she wanted to be Queen Elizabeth.
But it was like you can't be Queen Elizabeth. People gonna know that that's not your damn name. I don't know what my name is.
Oh, a reverse $1 million baby. Without the neck breaking.
Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you. Chevy got the background.
All right, M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan.
I don't know how newsworthy this is, but he is coming out with a film called Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah, it sounds hella like
M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, like he would name it with like an action and the place, and you feel like you know what it's gonna be about.
It's gonna be some bullshit.
It's gonna be some bullshit. Cause I still ain't seen the other one. Still ain't old, right? I was interested. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
no, it's old.
I was
It's old.
He was just 5.
Now he's 22.
Now he's 22. Oh my God, she's pregnant.
But how?
It's the beach.
It's the sand. It's poison.
Right, it's the Sahara.
You know what I think gonna happen in the end of that movie? Because you can never trust him. It's probably some nuclear test site underground that has like stuff in the sand where if you touch it, you instantly like grow. Because you know it ain't never what it is.
It's never what it is.
It's never what it is. It's always something else. It's always something else.
Always.
That comes out on February 2023. I'm sorry, guys. I gave you that, but I mean, it's like, what's the point? We're gonna forget and revisit this again.
Wait.
Dang, I forgot to put where else this lady was from. But so I'm gonna just use what I have. Jamie Clayton from The L Word will star as Pinhead in the new Hellraiser show on Hulu. Now that's great and all, but like theoretically, Pinhead was a demon, a pleasure demon from hell who tortured people in the ways that they saw fit. But in the original Hellraiser, he wasn't the bad guy and was only in the movie for a cumulative amount of probably 5 minutes.
I learned that from you, yeah.
I mean, like, unless Pinhead gonna be talking and shit,
what are we really doing here? Yeah,
exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Speaking of TV shows, Chucky TV show is very good.
And is it okay? What is it on?
Sci-Fi and USA.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch it. I've been meaning to. I really been meaning to.
Well, girl, you got plenty of time. It just came out on Tuesday.
Cool, definitely.
First episode. You only got one episode.
I'll watch Chucky. I always laugh. I ain't gonna lie.
Fun fact about Chucky. I was just recently watching Ellie Roth's History of Horror the other day, and it was about sequels. And I always wondered if Bride of Chucky was made on purpose or by mistake, making him a joke. And the director and writer of the movie stated that it was on purpose, that he was tired of making a doll scary, so he decided to make it ridiculous and funny. And that was something that made me be okay with where those films went after that.
Yeah.
And I just thought that I would let everybody know that. So
that is a great fun fact, because it really did transcend to a place where it's like, are we really getting to know Chucky? Like,
right. That and as well, also because they talked about Dream Warriors, which is Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and Ron Engel discussed, because we no longer have Wes Craven, that Freddy Krueger became a joke because the fans loved it, and a lot of people didn't understand why they took it that route, and they kind of don't like that they took it that way, but it became that way because of the fans enjoying the puns that Freddy Krueger delivered when he
because Brumman was definitely a comedian, like
definitely. So those are just some fun facts. If you like to know more fun facts, then you should watch Ellie Roth's History of Horror. They're on season 3. It premieres on Fridays at 9 o'clock on AMC, but you can also watch the prior seasons on Shudder. You can get a 7-day subscription for free. So check it out. I love it. It's very informative. It's a very informative series.
That's cool.
And every episode is based off of a different genre of horror. So, all right. Continue where movie does, because I'm 2 weeks behind, so it's a lot. The Fall of the House of Usher, a series in development at Netflix about Edgar Allan Poe's stories.
Interesting.
Nevermore, right? The Raven, you know. I had no idea this was in development. Stacy, this may be something you want to check out because you were just playing the Aliens game. But Ridley Scott is developing an Alien TV show on FX, but he says that it ain't better than Aliens, but it's gonna be good.
Okay. We want that.
The 70s show has a spinoff in development called the 90s show. But a friend of mine said to me, why the hell they making a 90s show when the 80s show didn't work at all? So I didn't even know
well, what people love is the 90s. So let's just jump.
People do love the 90s. I don't know too many people who love that. Well, I mean, it depends. I'm not an
like
80s
a
person.
portion of the 80s. Like I feel like the early 80s are like, you know.
Right. I think the 80s didn't get right till about 85.
Right, correct. I think when people talk about loving the 80s, that's what they're talking about loving.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? 85. You know what I'm saying?
Horror.
But horror was very prevalent in the 80s, though. Many of the greatest horror films ever made came out in the 80s. All
Get your friend, please.
What'd she say? What happened? Because I ain't even paying no attention. Chevy really pronounced horror correctly. Everybody else says horror.
It's the comments after that.
The 80s was straight. I'm not saying that.
It's like that meme, like, don't come over here with that bullshit.
But it's true. It's true.
It's true. It is.
Let me take this hat off. I'm hot.
It's getting hot already. Yes.
It's getting hot in here. Hey. So take off all your hats. All right. Marvel's Secret Invasion has begun filming, and finally, my last piece of news for this evening. Praise the Lord! Scarlett Johansson has settled her lawsuit with Disney.
Thank you, Jesus.
And she will be starring in Tower of Terror movie.
Nice.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. She was like, it will be contingent along if we can settle. Can we settle?
Also, Black Widow is now on Disney Plus, if you didn't know. But
yes.
What's cool about it being there is it's like a DVD. So you have a section of extras where they have a whole bunch of deleted scenes. They have a gag reel. They have all these different things. I watched the gag reel yesterday and I kept
that has to be so much fun. I'm going to have to sit down and watch that.
Yeah, I love a good gag reel.
Man, that's my favorite. Oh, that used to be my absolute favorite about watching DVD extra. Like, oh my God.
It's just amazing for me when I watch that gag reel because they had to do the accents and everything like that. And they're fully in character. But even when they mess up, they still in character. And I just thought that was so amazing. I kept rewinding them because it was so funny when they messed up because they were still like using their accents and stuff like that. And Rachel Weisz was cracking me up because it's a scene in Black Widow where she gives them up and a light shines down on them. And when the light shined down, while they was doing the scene, she was like, like, damn, that light scared me. And it was just like, girl, you knew the light was
Come on now.
And she was like, oh. She was like delivering her line and she's like, oh. And then Scarlett Johansson was like, oh. And then like, I'm so sorry. She's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
That's funny. That's funny. Really that's funny. Good. That's good. That's good. I almost want to watch it just for that.
I
might go straight to it. I might go straight to that.
Well, guys, that was a long but strong spooky news. Spooky.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Yo. So the time has come. We're reviewing. We didn't even hint to it earlier, but we're reviewing His House, which came out last year, 2020, like in sometime in October, probably around this time or end of October. And it came out on Netflix. And I can tell you right now, like when I first saw it, I was like, hell yeah, I'm watching that because it's just like,
literally you supposed to come over here and watch it.
Yes, I was supposed to never came over because I was so geeked for it because I thought it was like really cool and thought like, oh man, I think I maybe was riding off the high of like bad hair and just like, ooh, Black people, scary movies. This is what's up, just like riding off the high. And then
Get Out.
all of that. And I think what had happened was Lovecraft. I think what had happened was I seen a trailer. Like, I think I seen like one of those little short teaser trailer. I was like, yeah, that's gonna be good. Then I think I seen like the real trailer, and I was like, I'm about to be scared.
Yeah, but I said the same thing. I watched the trailer. I said, I'm not about to watch that.
And
that
then
scary as hell.
It looked scary as hell. And I was like, nope, that's a wrap for me. I won't be doing that. So it never happened. So when I decided to watch it, you know, I was, you know, once we decided to watch it, I was like, you know, like, we can do it. I can do it. You can do it.
Now I do have a question for you. First, I would just like to give some backstory. Last week we watched VHS, but because I had a little Cody code, we couldn't stream. Now, VHS is a found footage anthology film with 4 stories in there, and everything is shot with a camera, whether it's a glasses cam or a webcam or whatever like that. Now, you can't watch it for free anymore. You have to pay for it, but it is a great film. And and when I watched it initially, it was like a B-level film, but it was groundbreaking to me because I had never seen anything like that with found footage being done in different mediums of found footage.
Yeah.
So my question to you before we get started is, which one was scarier?
Right, because I said I really loved the last story. Man, you know what? Oh, I don't want to pick. I almost don't want to pick that. Is this a hard one? Okay, so it starts off with the overwhelming story.
I mean, like, which one is scarier between His House and VHS?
Between the two? Oh, that's a good question. I would say VHS. Even though I was probably acting scary as hell, watching His House scarier than I felt. I think, that's what it is. Because VHS gives you this feeling of you're watching something like a home video. You just don't know where, you just don't understand and know. Like, His House was so easy to know, like, yep, scary shit about to happen. Like, I'll just cover up. So I didn't even give myself a chance to even like allow the scary shit to happen to me. But watching VHS, things will happen. I'm like, oh shit, oh my god, oh my god, oh my.
That's the beauty of found
footage. You'd see things happening. Like, I didn't see what do I rewind it? Do I stop it? Oh my god, like. And that's what made VHS like way more scarier and just realistic. Like,
so it's this movie.
Could this be real?
that I found out, that I knew about, but I didn't know it was so pivotal to horror in a sense, as a genre. It's called Rec. It's a film. It's a Spanish film. And I was literally about to text you like, let's switch it up. But like when Quentin Tarantino and Eli Roth said that movie scared them, I said maybe we should just watch that together and discuss it.
Yeah. Maybe we can throw that into our extra content bag.
But I really think we should watch that film.
Okay, I'm down. I'm down. Like,
because you ever seen it's a movie called Quarantine with the chick from Dexter. It's an Americanized version of that film, and it's a found footage film about a reporter going into a home with firefighters and recording like a day at the job with firefighters, but they're going into a home and it's infected with some type of contagion, and they get locked in the home, and then it's just found footage of them trying to get out.
And that sounds good.
Is the original version of that, but when I saw Quarantine, it was crazy to me. So I would like to watch the original version to see how much more scary it is, because I was very enticed when I heard about it.
Right. And those, you know, I'm realizing that there's like factors, you know, there's factors of good movies, great movies, excellent movies, you know, like classics, right? But I think the thing with horror is that you really do, you know, need to tap into, you know, like it's not good. You know, they did the classic stuff in his house, you know, looking into a dark hallway, nothing's there, you know, cut to the main person and then pan back a little bit and then the scary thing is back there,
right,
you know.
right. But that's the thing about horror. Like after a while, the people who continue to watch horror is not the masses. The masses are always gonna go see a horror film.
Yeah.
But when it's like going to a haunted house, not only does the masses go to a haunted house, they don't make haunted houses better for you. They make haunted houses better for me, people who work at haunted houses, people who have experienced that, because we are not the masses. So you have to change what is being done here to scare me.
Yes. Yep.
So
right.
That's that. Okay, I'm going on
that part. Yeah, a little bit of a tangent, but no,
you said this is gonna happen. You said this is gonna happen.
And it don't help that we done been off for a week too. I mean, 2 weeks too. Like it's like we about to get in that bag. We about to get in that Halloween bag, baby. No, you're right though. You're completely right. I'm excited. I'm low key excited. Like I think I might be just getting energy from you, low key, just like how excited you get, like just riding on that energy. But yeah, man. Yeah, I think VHS was scarier than his house. If I had to pick one. Yeah.
Well, you drop it to him. You give him the stuff. I'll be right back.
All right. Perfect. So 2020 is when his house came out. As I said before, it's on Netflix, and it goes a little something like this. A refugee couple makes a harrowing escape from war-torn South Sudan, but then they struggle to adjust to their new life in an English town that has an evil lurking beneath the surface. We have director Remy Weeks, writer, he wrote it as well, Felicity Evans and Toby Venables, and it stars Soap Dirasu. I'm sorry for butchering your names. Malika Walaki. I cannot say these last names. I'm sorry. I hate I don't want to butcher people's names, but I know it. Wunmi Mosaku. She played the dark-skinned, heavier set sister in Lovecraft Country. Soup Dirasu. He's a newcomer. I've never seen him before. This is my first time seeing him. But they're the main stars. And Malika, who plays Nagat, she plays the daughter in this film. And oh my God, like for real, y'all, it's really good. It's a different take on this kind of, you know, like the house is haunted. There's something in the house. It's really a different take on it that I haven't seen before. And so I'm excited to talk about his house. And I have to say, when I first see the title His House, I always think of Run's house. Whose house? Run's house. I ain't gonna lie, like I kind of had to be kind of silly and have a little fun to kind of ease. I really be scared. I don't know why I be so scared, y'all. I really can't explain why I'm so scary. I really wish I knew why. I think it's because I believe in like spirits and ghosts and stuff like that I just be scared. Like that's why I really don't mess with the haunted house stuff, like the haunted house and the spirits and the stuff that can follow you. I really don't play around with that stuff. I don't like that stuff. I think I was out the other night, not the other night, sometime last week, and I overheard a girl saying that she was going to Eloise. And right. I was like, oh, a friend of mine, like, you know, had an opportunity to like work there, but she was like, I'm not doing that because of the history. It's not like just some random warehouse where we're doing scary shit in it. Like, this is a place that actually has a very haunted history. I'm not working nowhere like that.
Correct.
Oh, and the friend was Chevy. Like, I was like, yeah, you should do that.
I can't do it.
He was like, I'm thinking about it, like juggling. And then when you told me your reason, I was like, oh yeah, don't do that.
Ain't nobody coming home with me.
That is a
and
huge
you know, it's
reason.
so crazy because Enid, I posted those pictures, some of those pictures. Now, okay, so I went to New Orleans in August and we went to an antique mall because my brother loves like going to antique malls. What was alarming to me in this antique mall in New Orleans is I felt that the history in those items ran deep. I looked at jewelry from definite slave owners.
Bruh.
I saw World War I paraphernalia. I saw voodoo dolls. I saw so many things, and I took a lot of pictures. But what alarmed me when I developed the pictures is, you know, I went to get the pictures developed and I said, I hope there ain't no ghosts in them. And she said, what? And she was like, I was like, because I was in New Orleans. She's like, I hope there is. And I said, girl,
no.
But when I got the pictures back, what was alarming to me, I didn't see any ghosts. And I went to some haunted places. I took pictures of the cemetery. I took pictures of Marie Laveau's place. I took pictures of the other lady who was a character on American Horror Story, her home. But what scared me about the images was there were pictures that I took film, like 35 millimeter pictures, but you know how you can see a picture in focus and you can know that it's in focus or blurry in your viewfinder.
Yeah.
There were pictures that were, I knew they were in focus when I took them. But when I developed them
completely out,
they were blurry. And it was like 4 pictures in the antique mall that I saw them go into focus when I was taking them. But when I developed them, they were blurry. And she was just like, yeah, I went to antique mall and they told me not to take pictures because you can bring spirits back with you. And I just made a joke like, well, I've been home for like 2 months and nothing happened, so I think I'm good.
Yeah.
But there were times when there was a point, because that antique mall was huge. There was a point where I said, okay, I'm done. Because it got to a point where it was like, I don't want to put myself in a position.
Let me stop.
I bring something home with me.
Period. And I think that's actually a great segue into talking about his house, because you know, you go throughout the film being like, you know, it's very different than most stuff, right? Like most people are families buying their first home, or like, oh, we're taking our old mom's home, or some home that's been in the lineage of their house, or whatever, or things that you've heard about this spooky house, but you buy it anyway and you're going to renovate it and blah, 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 blah. But the difference about this time was we realized at a point in the movie that this is something that they brought with them. They actually brought this with them, and you get that from the beginning. It's not like a real surprise. Like you realize like something happened that y'all not telling us.
See, I didn't get that. Really? I didn't get that until midway through the film when he tried to be a conduit with the ghost. Because at that point I was like, I don't understand. These people seem like they're good people. They seem like they didn't do anything wrong. Ones. They you know, I don't understand why this girl is coming back to them. That's their child. Like, why she mad at them? Like, what is really going on?
And see,
I didn't realize it until the end. Like,
really. So this movie picks up where like you see you know, very like Hotel Rwanda-ish, like, you know, like African people trying to get out of a place Sudan. That's obviously at war, and they're trying to get away, and you see the man, his child holding her. They, you know, it's a lot of jump cuts in the beginning. Then they're like on a boat, and then they're in water that definitely gives you the perception like, oh my God, I think they are in like the sea. Like they're just trying to come are they trying to come to the United States? Like, then you realize they're somewhere in like UK, like in England, right? And then, I'm sorry, like something happens on the boat. They cut to like, obviously the boat, sinking and people are drowning. The daughter is asking for help. And then it just blanks out. And then it's just the husband sleep on his wife's lap in what looks like giving me like jail
house type.
like giving me halfway house, like bunks in a room shared with somebody else. Like you could tell that, like a detention center. Yeah, and that's actually where they were. They were in a detention center, and then like someone busts in the room and tells them like, "Yo, they need, a white woman come in, like they need you." The black guy is it's an African guy. He, you could tell he was probably with them, and he's like, they ain't gonna do nothing but put you in a room and die. Like, put you somewhere and die. And I'm like, damn, what do he know? Like, so these people, this panel of people who like one man is on his phone, the other guy is like practically eating or digging in his nose. I don't know. They just don't care. A host of people that just like don't care. Tell them like, yo, we about to put you somewhere. Oh, you're not a citizen though. They thought that they had citizenship. You're not a citizen, but we about to put you up. You know what I'm saying? You do what you need to do and
you
get right.
Work. We only gonna give you 74 pounds, which is $100
a week.
Which is $100 a week.
$100 a week.
It's $101.
Yes. Yeah, because I looked it up too. So they're like, we gonna give you this very small pay. We're gonna put you up.
But shoot, I don't know how much it was in 2020.
Right, with Brexit.
Right.
And so, you feel, but and immediately, obviously from them jump cutting from the daughter obviously drowning to it just being the mother and the father, you realize like, oh my God, I think they lost the daughter, because you hear the woman whisper, then the woman like, where's the child? Where's the child?
They say they lost her.
And so you realize like, damn. I mean, a
good job of making them look as if they were innocent and making us feel as if they didn't deserve. I'm not saying nobody deserves to be treated the way they were being treated, but it just kind of remind me of like how they treated. It's like, how can you, we always want to say it's a black and white thing, but it is a black and white thing, because how can Nazi soldiers become NASA employees, but these people who fled a country that was war-ridden are all treated like they're criminals?
Yep. When all of they're just like you said, they're just trying to get away from a place that.
But we made Nazi soldiers who tested on people, who did we put them in jobs in the government. We changed their names. We gave them tattoo removals in the 60s and 70s. We did all of these things because we felt like they had more to offer than these people.
Yes. Talk about it. And so it's a lot of, it's little micro aggressions like that happen throughout the film that does like kind of tick you off a bit, because you're like, what did they do? What did they do?
But it also makes you sympathetic for these characters that you eventually find out
they didn't have such a clean,
track record.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And so they get the house, and so it's this statement that's keep being mentioned, like being one of the good ones, be a good people. You're,
don't make no waves. Don't cause no problems.
Yep.
Get along to get along.
Yep.
Do what you need to do to fit in.
In fact, we're giving you one of the biggest houses. Like most people just get a room in the living room. Like
he also said too, most times we put a whole bunch of people in the same place.
Oh yeah, in one place.
And it's smaller than this.
That's smaller than this, and y'all getting all of this to yourselves. And it was a big place, big living room, dining room.
The guy also made a point to say it was bigger than his place.
Yeah, they mentioned that multiple times, and it was just like, wow. And I thought it was so interesting that they would never name where they were, and so when they pull up, it it reminds me of
it's the projects.
It's
It was
the-
in the projects.
That's what I was about to say. Remind me
the
of the project.
London Town.
It's the London Town Project.
It's the London Town Projects. Well, what bothered me about that though is like, okay, so you know the racism. I feel like our racism is like hidden, like under the underbelly. Over there, they blatant. You know what I'm saying? So what bothered me about them putting them in that project, which was a project with more white people than black people, is like y'all got people all over the place. Why don't y'all just put them all together so they don't have to deal with? But see, this is a test.
The whole outsider feeling, you know.
Right, but this is a test.
I want them to acclimate.
Y'all putting them there so you can see how they act. And if they don't act the way you want them to act, then you're going to send them back home.
Yep.
Because you want them to Americanize.
Yep. You hit it.
This movie, I felt like could have just been a drama. It didn't have to be a horror film.
And it was so much of it. Like I read a review, and actually today's movie quote comes from this review that I read, because I was so damn scared, and I
actually got a quote from the movie.
Oh, great! I'm glad. Thank you, Jesus. I wasn't able to like really, because I was
not scary.
I'm scary as hell.
Like and that little thing that ran across the floor, it was like, man, that's some bad. Man,
when that little woman ran across the floor, I was like, oh hell no.
That was some bad technology. No, so you seen that like the woman ran across, and then after she disappeared, it was like another little thing ran across. Oh, like, what the hell is that?
Oh, that fucked me up.
Stupid.
I'm sorry, it scared me. It scared me. It scared me.
That looked dumb as hell.
Oh, it scared me. And the lights off. I just flip the switch. Oh, when that kept happening, I was like, oh,
really? That was scary. I thought that was scary. Like, okay, so ghosts killing people now. Like, it just didn't make sense. None of it made sense to me. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand why my whole issue with all of that.
It was a lot of social commentary.
It took too long for them to tell me why the daughter was doing that to the parents.
It took them entirely too long, and it took them so long that I figured it out. I figured it out. At first, I was mourning their daughter as well.
I was just damn.
But then once like the house started to do what it did, right? It was creepy as hell. You know, the mother, what was her name? Rael, when she would try, because what pissed me off about both of them is that they never had a moment where it was like, you hearing shit too and seeing shit too.
But they did though.
They did. But by the time that they did, Rael was like, I ain't scared.
That's the thing.
But they were having two different experiences.
They were. So wait, let me pull up my notes. Because I'm just gonna go here. Because they were definitely having two different experiences. One of a person who wanted to acclimate, and one of a person who didn't.
Yeah.
And, you know, the reason why the communication didn't work is because he was trying to deny what happened and say, we survived and we made it. Let me just pull it up. Because I wrote it down. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so this is what I was going to ask you. Because, see, at this point, I thought the daughter was the daughter. I said, do you feel like the wife had accepted her fate because deep down she felt bad about surviving her daughter dying, whereas the husband was still fighting because he believed he made it through all of that and he deserved to live?
The former. I mean, well, yeah, no, I agree with this. I agree with the statement. Like, she had come to terms. She knew what happened. She knew what they did. And he knew what he had done.
Because when she told him the story about the APATH,
right?
After she experienced it.
And that's when it became completely clear that
but
he had did something to that little girl.
But see, I didn't even get that. I didn't get
something to her, but I just assumed like he didn't save that girl. That's why she was drowning. He
I
didn't
felt
save
like
her.
like maybe see, because I'm still thinking in the head of like that's her daughter, and I'm guilty because I didn't do enough to save my child, and now we get to live in the laps of luxury, and
Yeah.
she doesn't get
Okay.
to live.
For
So
sure.
that was
No,
my
I will
theory.
say, I'm with you with all of that, because what come to find out, which we're gonna tell all y'all. It
But
like
there were two issues
I
at
didn't know
place.
that exactly. I didn't know that exactly, but I had an inkling as it was getting towards it, like,
I never got it. I never got. Well, I was kind of just like confused when we got to a certain point, and I just kept saying they don't look like they had no kid. I just kept saying like
no, like, and once it became apparent that the Night Witch was like, yo, you got to get your life. You got to get your life because you're not supposed to have this. You're not supposed to have this.
that just confused
like
me and made me hate the movie because I was just like, this don't make, because they wasn't telling me enough. They wasn't giving enough.
But I
they
think
enough information.
It was all of that to be able to tell you like this is what really actually happened. So,
but
go to your
in
two
tandem,
things. Yeah,
with the witch, the Night Witch, he also wanted her to acclimate.
Yeah, he definitely
her in her
did.
own home she needed to eat with silverware. Telling her in her own home she couldn't speak her native language. Telling her, so the real issue wasn't communication, because as soon as she saw the Night Witch, she told him. The issue was he wanted to deny his heritage and what they believed in. It was interesting being that they were so deeply rooted in their culture that they had the marks of their tribes on their bodies.
Yeah,
they didn't do some type of ritualistic. So when a African American person moves in a home, traditionally we pray over the home.
Right.
I would assume that an African person would have some type of thing that they would do as well. But I believe that the husband, she let her husband be the man. And you could tell that by how he walked in the door that day when she made the food, and he was like, next time we gonna eat on the table. She didn't even speak because that wasn't her role. So she let him take the lead in areas, and they walked into a house that had been lived in and they did nothing about it. They laid in the bed, they laid on the sheets, they did nothing about it. And to me, being that they are from Sudan, and they did nothing to cleanse that house, it was baffling to me. And it was because he was trying to Americanize and culturalize himself to the ways of London.
Totally.
Because he wanted to be accepted and he wanted to be able to live, because he didn't want to go back home. But she knew who she was. She knew where she came from, and she knew that truthfully what that man told them at the beginning of the movie, she found out firsthand. I thought it was crazy that she assumed that those young boys were her people.
All kinfolk ain't skinfolk.
Right.
all skinfolk ain't kinfolk.
And it was just like, it's sad when you're that desperate to find someone that looks like you, that you would put yourself out there to be hurt.
That was a very dangerous situation. And if those boys were up to no good,
which they were.
There were definitely some little assholes, but they didn't put their hands on her and they didn't attack her or anything. But if it was a different day, different time of night, who knows what they would have done.
Right. But it was also some Ghostly Hollow stuff going on when she was going, because that little boy was in a
he arrived area. Like not 2 but 3 times, correct?
I believe 2 or 3, but that was some Ghostly Hollow stuff.
It really was.
That was supernatural, what was taking place with that little boy. And I don't know what that little boy was about and what it was supposed to represent, but it definitely was not a coincidence that he was there in a blocked in area and then he was there in an open space.
Yep.
That didn't make sense.
Oh, yeah, it was moments like that didn't make sense to me. And I maybe it was again, another one of those moments to just like show her that like you're not
acclimated.
Yeah, like you're not ready for this. You don't want to be here. You shouldn't be here.
But that's the thing though. Wanting to be and should be was two different things. And I think in her mind, she had already told herself she didn't deserve to be there. So she didn't want to be there.
Right.
So like the scene where, you know, after everything culminates and after he tears up the damn house and he goes to the people and tells them he wants a new house and he comes back home and he basically
got real. Got real.
And he basically she tells him, I'm going back with or without you. It was like, but wait a minute, honey. You know what you're going back to? It was kind of just like, you've accepted the fact that you are guilt-ridden and don't deserve to be here. So whether you want to be here or not, you don't feel like you should. So you're not going to allow for yourself to enjoy this or experience this in the way that you should. Whereas he is taking the other way about this and saying, I don't know what the hell is going on. Forget all this stuff that's going on in this house. Our house. We gonna live here. I'm not going back to that because I'm not cut for that. I was a bank teller, bro. I'm not cut for that.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not running and ducking and hiding. I count money for a living, honey. Like, you got me messed up.
He was ready. He was ready to live that life.
And I mean, you got to think about it. When you think about what he did for a living, he counts all currencies. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to count US pounds. He is already, like when he knew that song, when he went to that place to get the free stuff and they were singing the soccer song. He's acclimated to other worlds because he has to be for the job that he had. So this is something that he always wanted. And it
just showed that they definitely both were not, like, the communication obviously was never there. And just like you said, she, as a woman of her culture, I believe was led by her man, not realizing that her man was leading her away from the
thing. If they would have never had a war in their country, this would have never been a conversation.
Yeah, they would have. Yeah, they probably just would have broken up. He probably would have just left her.
No, they wouldn't have broke up because
you don't think they would have broke up? You think he would have just brought her with her?
No, he would have never left.
You're saying that he would have never?
He would have never left. He had no intentions on leaving his home. He idolized those cultures and those people
from where he was.
Correct. That was already something that he idolized. That was already a life.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking in my head. Like, that's a bank teller. Right. Because in my head, I'm thinking like that's something that he really wanted. But you're right. Because now he's actually here. It's like I might as well be what I am. Be what I want to be.
I might as well acclimate. I might as well go get my hair cut. I might as well go to H&M and get me some clothes.
He was geeked up.
But the thing about it is, why burn your stuff because you think you cursed? Buy new clothes, then go in your house and dirty up the new clothes.
I never understood that. But that's how, like, frazzed he was up here, which what he says later on in the movie, like realizing that house was making him come to face himself.
Right.
And he was battling. He had a battle within himself, just like without his wife's motivation.
No, because after she told him about the APATH and she said she looked in his, I said, that's a black woman right there. She said, I looked in your eyes and you a lie. She was done with him from that moment.
She was.
And then he sat at the table and saw her talking to nobody. And she's like, you don't even want to know what they telling me? You don't even want to know? You know what I'm saying? Because culturally, this is something that she has been taught by her mom. This is a story that she's heard. So this ain't nothing no different than what he's heard or what he's known. You know, he's just trying to disregard all of this. Yeah. So the fact that I feel like what she was going through is, I thought I knew this man and I didn't know it was this bad.
Yeah.
You know, I knew he was a little, practical and he was a bank teller and he wanted this for himself and that for himself. But I didn't know he really wanted to be this way. And I mean, who's to say he really wanted to be that way? Or if he really felt like he needed to be that way and he was the perfect candidate because he knew how to be that way because of his job. So he didn't have to go back. Because really, now that I think about it, the real reason why he didn't want to go back, it didn't have nothing to do with them guns or bullets.
No.
People saw what he did. People knew his name.
And he was going to have to answer to someone for that. And once he thought he got away clean, start brand new, nice and fresh, like,
I can let go of that.
I can let go of all of
like
that.
Like when she tried to say her daughter, he covered her mouth. See, that stuff just confused me because it took too long for them to tell me what was really going on. So, you know, the people come to the house because the house is fucked up.
Oh, the house is jacked up because
they've
been running amok. The ghosts have been running amok in the wall.
Technically, he the only one been running amok.
True.
So he didn't damage the whole house. She done came out in her African garb. These Londoners is looking at her like she crazy. She talking about the damn ghost. It's a hot ass mess.
It's a hot mess. My man's walked out. He said she had on the bed sheets.
Right. And I'm just like, oh Lord. So then he lose his shit and lock her in the house.
Oh my gosh. He locked her in the house, and then that's when she has the dream. And now we're finally, you know, at this moment, I was like, oh my God, we're finally going to find out what happened. Like,
but even how they did that was confusing. I didn't like
it. Man, they confused the shit out of me too. Like, it was like, again, it was like, I don't know what it was, but I had always had this feeling that once I seen that she wasn't there in the beginning, I was like, okay, yeah, they lost the daughter. Yep. Okay. Then they clued it in. Then once I seen how much he was like trying to forget the past, I was like, something fucked up happened on that boat. I think he left his daughter back. I think he didn't try to save her. But then I'm like, but why would, but I know, but I'm like, why wouldn't he save his daughter? So that was the question I was constantly asking myself. Like, why wouldn't he save his daughter? Why wouldn't he save his daughter? And then when she had the dream and then the women and she's like, where's my daughter? Is she dead? And then they're like, you have no daughter. And they're saying, who? I'm like, oh my God. I don't think that was their child. I don't think that was their baby.
Child, I was just over it at that point.
I don't know how and why it came to me. I really don't know, like, why it all came to me. And then, sure enough, the women are sitting there with her, and they're like, who? She like, my daughter. They like, the woman touched her stomach, said, you ain't got no baby. You've never bared child. And it was like, oh shit, that wasn't their kid.
Bro. Where?
Like, oh shit.
Where was I?
I don't know.
I was frustrated.
You was probably over it. You probably tell me what the hell happened.
I think I was.
You were focused on tell me what the hell happened. And when that happened, I was like, oh, that's not their kid, bro. And then bam, we're taking into that moment. And the way they transitioned, like,
it was confusing.
It was even hella like confusing
or anything.
Yeah, no.
But I'm like, damn, he got on some Nikes. This must be the past.
Yeah, it clicked on me that it must be the past. And I was like,
and he got on his little book bag.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
the shots ringing off. All the women are dead. And I'm like,
nah, but the way they did that
was cold. So she comes out of that cupboard and he's like coming to look for her. She comes out of that cupboard, and then all the women that we were just previously seeing telling her, who? No, we don't know what you're talking about. We're all shocked.
But see, then I still wasn't there because I was like, damn, survivor's guilt is a mug. Like, that's what I said because I still wasn't there. And I said, well, after I said that, I said, well, when they gonna go get their daughter?
Yeah, I'm like, this is one hell of a dream. Like,
I'm like, when they gonna
get
their
like,
daughter?
Oh shit, this is a flashback. Oh, it's a dream, but it's also a flashback for us.
Yes, like I knew it was a flashback soon as he came to her. Right.
See, and that didn't click immediately. That didn't click immediate for me. When I seen them
thinking
shot,
they needed to go pick up their daughter from school or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, but she at the school. Why would her daughter go to a different school than her? And I'm like, this ain't making no sense.
And when they pulled up to that,
they don't have no daughter.
Yep, when they pulled up to that bus, trying to get on that bus, and that woman was telling them like, "No, ain't no room, ain't no room." I was like,
and then she kept saying, "Mama." And I said, "Oh my God, he done stole the damn child."
Baby.
But I'm thinking, oh, he stole a kid that really couldn't find their mama. And then when that woman was outside the bus, and I said, "Oh no, this is why that man told you blood for blood. This is why." And then the real reason why he let her die is because he didn't want no questions.
He didn't want no questions. He used her as a ticket, giving me Titanic, giving me my man's getting like, took the little girl, giving me Nino Brown, putting the little girl up and let her get shot. Like, wow, y'all, you fucked up. And then that's when I was like, oh, you deserve it all. Let the beast come get him. Let the night.
And you, Rael, didn't say nothing. You sat there and let him lead. You sat there and you let him lead.
When that girl was in the bus yelling for her mama, and the woman is outside yelling her daughter's name, and then the other woman holding her child looked over at Rael like,
y'all ain't right.
Y'all ain't.
Even though Rael was looking at her husband like, seriously?
Yep.
You didn't do nothing. You let him deal what he did because you wanted to get out too.
Yep.
So y'all both in that together.
Yep. You could have stopped that. You could have stopped that.
You could have said, "No, babe, we just wait for the next bus.
We'll
just die. We'll just do what we gotta do, whatever.
We're gonna find somewhere to go. We're gonna do something."
When he picked up that little girl, I was just like, wow. And then you let her die because you didn't want no damn.
You didn't want no smoke.
I said, "Oh,
he didn't want the smoke that was gonna come with that. He didn't want the smoke that was gonna come with that."
But they did a good job of making us believe that he was an upstanding citizen, because when it wasn't even when he took her. When I saw that girl screaming for her life in that water, and he let her die because he let her die.
He let her die.
I said,
he could have saved her. He could have saved her. He was not so busy saving.
She had to do was grab her hand, and they all could have got pulled over.
And they
together.
all could have got pulled along.
But that was strategic.
And to go back to that question that you asked in the beginning about her being like, I couldn't do what, like, I feel like I get what I deserve. Because not only did she allow her husband to do that, but she didn't try her damnedest because she told the girl she'd protect her.
Right. Because that's another thing that bothered me too. I don't believe he could speak to her language, but she could, because she was more tribal. And see, that was another thing that was kept bothering me too. Like, why is their daughter more tribal than them? Like, that don't make sense to me.
It was just all of the clues. It just, they gave you enough, but that
mama cursed them. That mama cursed them.
That mama had to have cursed them. Because she seen them.
Mm-hmm. Yep, she cursed them. And that was the thing. I was like, y'all daughter is way more tribal than y'all. Like, y'all, he is more Americanized. He work at a bank. Y'all wouldn't have raised y'all daughter in that tribal way, like y'all wouldn't have. So that kind of was like, but then I was like, and she can't speak, she don't know English, but y'all both know English.
Yes,
that's also another thing. And obviously she had a dialect that was more tribal, and he wasn't of that life, but his wife was, and that's why they could speak the same language. And I was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, but my favorite comment that you make about this is that this could have just been like a drama. It could have just been like a social commentary type drama.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, take away the scary stuff, right? And like that's
what people will do when they put in that situation.
I'm talking about like keep everything else, take away the spirits haunting them, and keep the dead. You took a child that you weren't supposed to.
They could even put some spirits haunting them, and it could still be a social commentary. I mean, because it's plenty of social commentary movies that have ghosts.
True.
Even if they didn't show us the ghosts, the nightmares, them waking up in a cold sweat, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. True that. Man, you know, and I guess like that's the part that made me enjoy it. I know I'm jumping a little bit, you know, when we talk about like whether we enjoyed it or not, but like that's the part that made me enjoy it, that I really appreciated that part. You know, I appreciated that part because it sounds like a story. It feels like a story that definitely needs to be shared, because that's stuff that sometimes we just don't know. Like we really don't know. Like Hotel Rwanda is like my first, like, hold on, what? Black people killing black? I thought over there it was like cool, like, you know, like it just know your history, bitch. Like you didn't realize that it's wars going on over there and there are people losing their lives. And, you know, man, when she was talking about like having both of the tribal markings on her, but ultimately meaning that she belongs to nothing, you know, like
just so she could live,
just so she can survive, just so she can get by. It was like,
but what I realized about Rael is Rael was so traumatized by the things she saw that she took on a whole nother life. Because she had no child, but she believed,
she really
up
believed
until the last moment that was her child. And I kept
really
saying,
did.
I said, damn, this lady is messed up, man.
As much as I want, yeah, because it got to a point where I was like rooting for Rael, like, yeah, get into his ass, you know, like get into him.
But nah, girl, you literally suppressed it and made yourself believe that you lost your child. Because that's the only way that you could walk around okay.
Yep. And that dream, we realized that. And that's why she's crying. And that's why it was so hard to actually hear them being like, who, you have no daughter, sweetheart.
But that's also why he covered her mouth. That's also why it was so easy for him to snatch that necklace off her neck. That's also why it was so easy for him to burn that doll, because that wasn't their child. That wasn't no connection to them. That wasn't nothing to them. That wasn't their child. It kind of like remind me of like the movies and the TV shows where like the person might have a doll because they lost their child, and the husband entertains that because that's what keeps them from having a psychotic break. Like he entertained that because he didn't want her to have a psychotic break.
Bro.
But in actuality, every time she brought it up, it pissed him off because, girl, you know we don't have no damn child. And that's why it makes sense why he said start a family and not start over.
Yes. And I could not understand how he could lose a child and just be like, you know, because I went through some things too. I was like, well, you know, the idea of his house, you know, once I got over the like comedic part of like his house, whose house, Run's house. once I got over that in my head, I'm like, why is it called his house? Is it because, you know, when she starts saying like, you're the bad person, I was like, whoa, he must like something in him must eventually become like demonic, you know, like,
right. That's what I thought.
And maybe he hasn't been the same since his daughter died. And, you know, maybe he had a psychotic break a long time ago that we never got a chance to see. And then you realize like, no, he was just behaving like a person who had no sympathy or empathy for what he had done. Correct. And was like, well,
because he did what he had to do.
I did what I had to do, and that's really not my child.
Say what you would have done if it was you, because
you cannot.
People have done worse, and people have done better.
This is incredibly true. Like, really, fight or flight. And when when that woman was telling him families, kids, women only, he was like, I got a kid
right here.
I got a wife. Let me and my family on. Terrible. And even after he's seen the mama yelling, he still didn't say stop. I can't do this.
Because at that point, now they ain't gonna let you on no more bus.
Not
you
right.
Keep going. You gotta turn a blind eye.
Yeah, you
effed up if you get caught doing some stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
In war times, they're gonna say, "Oh, you deserve to die," because at that point, people can choose.
Yep. Yes, you are correct, Stacey. Movie completely wow, which is why, you know, I don't know. I think this is one of those films where you fall in love with like the movie, like what it can do instead of what it can be instead of what it actually was. You're like,
I mean, yeah, because it was actually a really deep, like when you think about it, after you see how everything played out, it's like,
right.
oh, they treat them like criminals. That's messed up. But damn, they did some fucked up shit. So maybe they deserve to be treated the way they treated.
Right.
But not because they black. It's because they actually really did some messed up stuff.
Right. Completely.
And it's like, damn. So maybe that's why they treat everybody like that. Because they know that everybody has probably done some stuff
some
that they
things
not.
To get there. And so finally, like, the time has come, you know, like the Night Witch has spoke to Rael and said, like, yep,
yes,
they let a child die. They kidnapping and
they kidnapped the kid and then let
like
her drown.
Involuntary murder, like manslaughter, I guess you could say.
Like they literally kidnapped the kid and then let her drown.
So now the time has come where, like, we know all of this. The dream has happened, the flashback has happened, and now we're back in reality. And now Rael is at a fork in the road. Like, she has been carried back into the home because she had gotten away,
right?
But not well enough.
Well, really, she just fell outside of the window,
bumped her head, and so yeah. And I hate them both, and I've never seen the movie. For real. So by this time, they're back in the house,
and basically I feel like at this moment she realized that she realized that they deserved whatever they got. But he had a change of heart and said, you know what, no, I'm gonna let them do what they're gonna do. I'm no longer gonna fight.
They can have me.
And she still wrapped up in whatever she thinks it is. She like, okay, well, cool, I'm gonna get my child back. Even though it's not her child, even though she knows it's not her child, but the guilt of the situation has overpowered whatever logical thought she has. So, okay, he decided the monster come out the flow, and it's like not even that cool.
It wasn't. It was the one moment that I was like,
it looked out of place, that dude. But I'm gonna be honest with you, they used like real like prosthetics and stuff, and it didn't look really good. It looked really fake. Most of the dead people and stuff looked really fake to me.
When I did get the little peek, like I was like, oh, this is really not that scary. This is actually giving me Michael Jackson Thriller, like fake zombie vibes.
Michael Jackson Thriller.
it was giving me fake zombie vibes.
Yeah, no, it wasn't really good. And see, for me, that's what took me out of the movie, because if you're gonna put a monster in my face, I can't be looking at it saying this don't even look like good. This don't look good. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so as he is being murdered or possessed by whomever, the daughter comes back to Rael, and she has this realization that, I need to let go of the past. I need to accept what I did, and I need to move on.
Yep.
And in that, I need to save the man that I love so we can live our lives and be happy, because we did what we needed to do to survive. And I need to understand that, and I need to come to terms with that. Because I feel like in the end of that, they wanted us to take away from it is these people did what they had to do to survive. No, it was not okay. No, it was not all right. But they made it, so they deserve to live.
Yeah.
So she was able to, it felt like when Freddy Krueger come out of the dream world and he in the real world and you can kill him.
Yeah, which was so like, that was very bizarre for me too.
Yeah, that didn't make
the whole
no
time. This Night Witch has just been whispering and been in the wall and like, and
now you can whole ass slit his
hold his head and slit his throat, and he like, that hurt.
Yeah,
like what?
And blood coming out and everything.
Yeah, he's bleeding. Like, oh my, what?
I was like, no, that don't work for me, because that don't make no sense.
It made no sense at all. I
So
was so confused by that.
I didn't appreciate that.
Because then then it's like, where y'all gonna bury this?
Right.
Can it come back?
It doesn't turn into dust afterwards.
What happens?
Who knows?
Are you just gonna keep it?
Like,
Put it in the closet.
That happens. They wake up the next day, the people outside, and we come to a house that has been revamped.
Yeah, it's been repatched. They put a rug down. They got a couch. They look like they cleaned up a little bit. They cleaned themselves up. They look like the good ones.
Right. And the man who was a social worker, I guess, is basically asking them these questions. And they like, oh, we was tripping, blah, 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 blah. But a line is delivered. And this is the quote that I took.
Ooh. Give it to me.
And, he was basically just like, so do you still see her? And then Bowl was just like, your ghosts follow you. They never leave.
Mm-hmm.
They live with you. It was when I let them in, I could start to face myself.
Yep. And so I have to stop doubting myself, because if I was going to pick a quote, that was going to be the one. I mentioned it earlier.
Yes, you did.
That would have been the one. I got to stop doing that to myself. But it was so good. And it was like, whoo, so he just really put it all in perspective.
Yeah, I did what I did. I have to accept that. Yep. And I have to move on and I have to live.
Yep.
Because that's the only way I can live.
That is the only way. So the quote that I got from this, we're going to leave it right there because this quote from the review says this, we are left with the sobering notion that trauma will always occupy a room in the houses our psyches build. To acknowledge its presence only makes it bang harder on the walls. And I was like, whoo! Whoo!
My therapist told me the other day that trauma lives in the body. Okay? You never know when it's gonna present itself.
Woo! Hey, what's the name of M. Night Shyamalan movie?
Oh,
A Knock at the Cabin.
Oh, what's that knock? You get it? Knock.
You hear that knock. And what they did so well in this movie was, which I agree with, and was in this review, is they did a great job with the sounds, like that the bang bang, the all the sounds that you don't want to fucking hear in your house, the shit that scares you. But man, oh man, that really hit. And that line, and between that line and that part of the movie, and reading the end of that review, it really put everything to term. It really makes you self-reflect. What are the things I've done? Right. What are the things that I am trying to act like don't matter and put away in my closet and put in the back of my drawers, and what are the things that you're doing
that I've done to people, that I've hurt people with, and I'm trying to make it seem like I'm just, everybody just don't like me, and but I'm just such a good person.
Period. What are some things that I need to focus in on that could be
because usually it's not something that you can fix.
Yeah,
because it's already broken. But it's something
that's already been done,
and you can move on and say, "Oh, I'll never steal nobody's kid again," and try to run for a refugee camp. It probably never happened again either.
Right. If I was ever put in,
I tell you what, I won't do that again.
But I won't never do that again. God damn it, I never do that again. I learned my lesson.
Right. Now, would you watch this movie again?
Yeah, I'd watch it again. I'd watch it with friends. I'd probably watch it again with friends. If somebody was like, I want to watch it and they've never seen it before, I'd watch it. I'd watch it along with them. Because I would like to hear what they have to say. I would like to probably have this conversation again. But yeah.
Nope.
It's a no for you, fam.
No, it's a no. I didn't like it.
It's a no for me,
I didn't like it. I didn't like the movie. I didn't.
Yeah.
I can take things from it, but I didn't like it.
For sure. In the sense of it didn't. It
You
didn't.
ain't about to tell me that's a horror film because it ain't.
Right,
And
I'm
I'm
about
not
to say
waste my time.
it didn't meet the genres.
No, it didn't meet the
for horror.
genre requirement for horror. So I'm not about to waste my time with that.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna bring somebody to watch it and be like, girl, this ain't even scary. That's funny. Ain't nothing worse than when you trying to scare somebody and then they watch the movie and they be laughing.
That probably sucks. Yeah, you're right. Right. Or you want like cracking up. This ain't even scary.
Yeah, why you makes me watch this? This ain't scary.
This movie ain't even scary.
This
no,
funny.
Yeah, I wonder if they did this if it was easier to make this if you did that instead of,
Well, I'm sure it was.
Tell the story.
Putting a nobody would have watched it if it was a social commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Because they feel like they've seen it before. So
we've seen this before.
I get why they did it, like the way they did it. And I mean, the way they did it is right, because so many movies about social commentary is about the innocent man, but there are so many people that are not innocent and they've done things to get where they are. And we don't know that, and we'll never know that because that's their story. Like I was saying about the Nazi soldiers who've tested on people, who've cut those teeth out that they used to make this, who peeled that skin off that they used to make soap, that they cut their hair off those heads they used to make rugs. Yep. And they were able to come to another country and start a new life where nobody knew that they did any of those things, and they never knew, and they would never know. And they lived a life, and they died with a wife and kids and a family that loved them, but nobody knew that they were the ones cutting the hair off of those Jewish people that they killed in those smoke chambers, gas chambers that they sold as rugs to people.
Wow.
In Germany. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I can take from this movie, and I can say that I appreciate, because as a social commentary, they would have been innocent people running away. But because this was a horror film, they were able to take that social commentary and also
kind of flip it.
But everybody ain't innocent.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Some people have crimes to pay for that we don't know about.
Yeah. So true. Whew. Yeah, it threw me for one. I really that's, and again, I think we both appreciate the same thing about this film. So yeah, that's His House. It's on Netflix. And we're gonna support Black people, so had to throw in one with some Black folk in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it does kind of disappoint in the horror part. Like it does kind of, even though I was scared, but I'm a scary person, so I have to keep throwing up the quotes because it's not really scary. Because I watch it a second time, won't throw up a hand and be like,
no, because it's not.
Oh, look at that zombie.
Yeah, no, it's not. But
so
what are we watching next week?
We are watching Good Night Mommy. Good Night Mommy. I
don't know what the hell we are getting into.
We have no subtitles. Idea. And it's subtitles. Lord have mercy.
So it shall be an interesting time.
It will be. It definitely will be. We probably gonna have to do horror again. Like we're probably
gonna have to do horror in January.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like sometime in 2022, like early 2022, we probably have to swing back around to it and watch some like really good ones, because we kind of made this list like not in a rush, but kind of like we wanted to obviously do things that we watch, movies that we hadn't seen before, something that was like independent, something that had Black folk in it, something that whatever.
But also, I've seen like a lot of things,
and you've seen so many things. It's like what that wasn't gonna leave much to me. So yeah, we're watching Good Night Mommy. Basically, it sounds like a mom goes and gets
plastic surgery, and
she don't come back the same, and her twin boys are like,
this ain't my mom.
That ain't my mama. And they're like this secluded mansion that's like out somewhere, but it shall be interesting. I look forward to it. So
All right.
Yeah.
Tell the people where they can find you.
Yo, you can find me at Latoya Coates, LATOYACOLTS on Instagram, and Points of View Finder on Instagram. Always dropping new photos and interviews with new photographers. Yeah, always over at Books We Should Have Read. Misfitted Academics, Darker Than Blue just dropped a new joint. I slept through the night. So please just, holla at my socials. You'll get all the information, link in bio for all that good stuff. And yeah, that's all I got going on right now.
Well, my name is Chevy the Superstar. You can follow me on Twitch. Also, you can follow us on YouTube at Chevy.
Thanks.
Two snaps in a circle on YouTube. Lord, I don't know what happened there. I'm continuing to do my horror spooky season stream.
It's lit.
On Tuesday, I killed like 3 people, and I was very disappointed about that last person's death. Like that really messed me up. I'm really not happy about the fact that I don't know how to press the corresponding buttons that are requested of me when I'm playing the game. But anyway, so Sunday I will be streaming Yakuza 0 because I just love streaming that game because it allows me to act and do voices. Tuesday we're coming back for more Dark Side anthology series. We're starting with Little Hope at whatever time I feel like streaming. I'm not putting myself to a time. At 7:30 on a Wednesday, me and Stacy will be going live and playing Dead by Daylight for the first time.
I'm tuning in for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be stupid. And at 9 p.m. I'm doing nothing because we have finished What If? And we're taking a break. And then on Thursday we will be back at 8 p.m. on Chevy the Superstar station talking about
Good Night Mommy.
Good Night Mommy. And you can also follow me on as the Superstar on Instagram. I've been posting a lot this month. So
you have, yeah,
enjoy that.
Yes.
And yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys next week on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We appreciate you. If you haven't, you can go back and watch some of our prior episodes about Harry Potter because we are revisiting Harry Potter in November. And I have to show y'all some when it's time.
Okay, wait. Yeah.
So y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good weekend. And we will see y'all next week. Peace. Bye.